Hello everybody, Platinum Breakthroughs here, just me. This is going to be an introduction to the race for Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. We're not doing Dark Souls Remastered because we thought it was just too hard. Me and Chris, aka Duns Gaming. We've been planning this for a while, this race for Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. We didn't do Dark Souls Remastered because we thought it was just too hard, because you need human effigies to do co-op. And we found ourselves, we kept dying a lot, and just didn't have any fun. So instead we're just going to do Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. So this is going to be an all co-op race, teams of 2. It's just going to be me and a new person on the channel called Karlos. He's just going to be here for this race, not for anything else. This isn't going to be the usual platinum playthroughs. This is just going to be for something fun, something me and Chris has planned for a while. So, and there's of course Chris and his teammate called Dean. They're the ones I mentioned, Karlos and Dean. They don't have YouTube channels. They're just along for the ride. So yeah, this race, what it's going to be about, get to the end any way you can. We're starting off with Dark Souls 2, and I've got a document here which listed all the rules. So if you don't feel like reading, let me explain to you. The document's also going to be in the description if you guys want to read. But for those of you who don't, pay attention. So the first team that makes it to the end of Dark Souls 3 wins, well, bragging rights at first. Then there's also going to be another race coming up that the winner team is going to choose, and then we're going to have another race on that game. Even if we hate the game, or if one of us hates the game, still got to do it. So one of us is going to get pissed off during that time. But yeah, that's the gold. Didn't really want to bet money or anything because it's not my thing. But yeah, that's the prize. So rules are: must beat the whole game co-op. Anything you can do in co-op has to be done. If you can't be done solo, then if you can't be done co-op, sorry, then solo until you can get to co-op. To do co-op, you need human effigies in the Souls games, because if you die, you can't summon anyone, and that's how you do co-op. So if you run out of human effigies, either farm them, buy them, or just start a new game. So you have to beat the game any way you can, even if it means starting a new game. So there's going to be a time limit for this. It's not going to be all in one long run. Nah, it's just going to be in 1 hour increments for each episode. So 1 hour each episode. And what I'm going to be doing is setting an alarm, so once the hour is up, it's going to be a loud noise, just to tell everyone, okay, it's up, stop what you're doing. So when the hour is up, everyone has to stop. If a team's in the middle of a fight, then they have to quit to main menu. Quitting to main menu doesn't kill you or anything, it doesn't cost you anything. So that's the safest move. So if somebody has to leave for some reason, don't know why, just for some reason, then just end the episode on that. And then we add on the time for the next episode, if we can. But if it's for like a minute, then we will stop and wait. But if it's for like a long time, then end the episode. So if one team's on a bus and has to leave, then everyone has to quit and save. So in that way, no one loses progress. That's one example. So anyone can look at each other's streams. It's mainly going to be me looking at Chris's stream and Chris looking at my stream. Yeah, the minions, as I call them. I'm captain of my team. Chris is captain of his team. Karlos is on my team, and he's the minion. And Chris has Dean. He's the minion of his team. The reason we call them captains and minions is because of something that I'm going to mention later on. But where was I? Yes, anyone can look at each other's streams, so they know when to use power-ups. That's right, we're gonna have power-ups in this race. But before I get to the power-ups, let's just look at the no-nos. So no calling for NPCs, it's just co-op, you and your partner, that's it. No one else. No glitches or exploits, none of that Dragon Rider falling off the edge. Everything has got to be fair and square. We also counted the pursuer and the crossbow that you get to use. That counts because it's part of the boss. So also no looking at speedruns or vids or no research or anything like that because that's just unfair. Like rather, like, it's not going to be a fun race if you're just going to take the quick route and just easily win. No helping the other team, so one team can't help the other by texting them saying when to, you know, do this or do that. No covenants that remove. Yeah, there's covenants that remove summoning. Just don't pick those. Simple, really. Don't pick any covenants. So here come the power-ups. So captains and minions have their own set of power-ups. 4 for each one. So first power-up for the captain is Death Awaits You, and 3 uses per game. So 3 uses in Dark Souls 2, 3 uses in Bloodborne, 3 uses in Dark Souls 3. So when it's used, whoever's the host of the game on the other team, they must automatically get themselves killed. So they gotta commit suicide. They gotta die in some way. If it's Bloodborne, however, we made a special rule that if on Bloodborne, you can't use this power up until we have at least 6 insight each, because you don't have much insight at the start of the game. Well, you get 0 insight at the start of the game, and getting insight can be a bit slow at the start. So if you start killing people, like start telling them to commit suicide at the start, then it's not going to be fair. So wait until they get 6 insight at least, then the power up will be able to, yeah, you'll be able to use the power up then. That's in Bloodborne. But in Dark Souls 2 and 3 you can use them whenever, because human effigies are pretty common. Well, they're easy to get. But anyway, that's one power up. Next one is de-equip. 3 uses per game. Most of these, I think, all of them but one are going to be 3 uses per game. But anyway, de-equip. Both players on the opposing team, they must unequip everything until they get to the next bonfire or die. So when we look at the streams, we think, okay, well, when's the best time to use the power up? So best not to use it when they're just right before a bonfire or close to one. So using these power ups are key. Just gotta strategize when to use them. And also bosses, because if it was used inside a boss, then the boss will take forever. That'll probably be the best time to use them. That'll be the only time to use them, really. So not best best just to leave bosses out of it. But yeah, unequip everything until they get to the next bonfire die. 3 uses per game. Next one for captain again. Yeah, just doing captains first, then I get to minions. So third power up for captain is decrease time. And what it does is the opposing team loses 5 minutes in their run. So they got the hour. If you use 5 minutes decrease time, they lose 5 minutes. So it's 55 minutes for them. But probably best to use that when they have 5 minutes left. But yeah, simple power up. And then last one for captain is change direction, 3 uses per game. So the opposing team can't go, like, you tell the opposing team where to go next, even if it's an optional bus, you can tell them to go there. They can't go where they intended to go at first. So they go Last Giant, then they want to go Pursuer, but we can be like, no, you can't do that. You can go to Dragon Rider. Or if possible, like, I don't think it's possible to go to the Rotten. If it's a place they can't go to the Rotten, or bosses they just can't get to, then it doesn't count. Also, no DLC bosses count, because some people don't. Well, for Dark Souls 2, the PS4 version, Scholar of First Sin, it comes with all DLC. But for Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, not gonna count them, because not everyone has all DLCs, so you know what, just leave DLCs out of it. But yeah, so we choose where they can go, where they have to go next. 3 uses. So that's the captain's power-ups. Now here are the minions' power-ups, the ones that the minions can use. So they can use extra time for 3 uses per game. What this does is your team, that you get 5 minutes added on your time. So if you're running out of time, if the time's about to run out, use 5 minutes, and then you use that 5 minutes. The 5 minutes isn't just, okay, you get 5 minutes to just like an added 5 minutes to your time. It's just 5 minutes to defeat the boss or get to the next bonfire. So it's like 5 minutes just to quickly get like a checkpoint or quickly defeat a boss before time runs out, so you don't have to do it again. And the next one is negate. So 4 uses. This is the only one with 4 uses per game. What this does is negates a power up used by the opposing team. So whenever a team uses a power up, so they decrease time, change direction, de-equip or whatever. Excuse me. It gets negated and doesn't get used. And so that means when they use it and it gets negated, that means they actually used it, and they use the use. So if they use de-equip, negate, okay, now they have 2 uses. So handy power up. Next one for minions is recall. What this does is, again, 3 uses per game. The minion on the opposing team must commit suicide. The thing with the minion is that if the minion does die, the host can carry on. Like, the minion doesn't lose any souls, the host doesn't lose any souls. So it's a more less dickish power up than the death awaits you one. Because with that one, at least the host is still alive, can probably try like homeward burn back to a bonfire. It's just like a way to just slow the opponent down for like a few minutes. And then the final power up for minions is skip bonfire for 3 uses per game. So skip bonfire, like the name suggests, the opposing team has to skip the next bonfire they come across. However, if they die, then they can get afterwards, and it can't be main bonfires like the Medulla bonfire in Dark Souls 2 or primal bonfires again in Dark Souls 2, because those ones are needed to progress. And Medulla, you need that one for that's the main one. So yeah, so if you die, so let's say you use a bonfire, skip a bonfire, and then they die, then it kind of, again, it slows things down. Maybe they can take a gamble and say, okay, maybe we don't need that bonfire, we can actually get to the next one without dying. Or they could or they can just die right then and there, lose some souls. Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble. So that one's there. And yeah, those are the power-ups. We're thinking, you know, shall we add more? We had ideas for more, but we think, you know, four for each one, so 8 in total is a good number, a good even number. So yeah, because the more we have, the more like what ifs get added to it. So it's like, what happens if you use this power up when you're here, or what happens if you're in this boss fight and this and that kind of thing. So with this, it's all good. It's all planned out. So what I'm gonna do is upload this, send a link to. Put a link for this document in case you want to read it in the description below. Also, I'm going to be updating it as the race goes on. So each episode, which team uses which power up, so you can keep track of which power ups we use and how many they got left. That is the race introduction. Nothing much else to say. So once episode 1 starts, that's when the race begins. It's just going to be me and Karlos. And Chris is going to be on the phone just so I don't hear what he's planning with his partner. And we're going to be both on mute. Whenever he wants to say something, like whenever he wants to use a power-up, he'll unmute. It's going to be through speaker, so you're going to be hearing him in the mic. So he'll unmute, tell me which power-up we're using. Then if I decide to use a negate or whatever, or I can just say, okay, yeah, but we're going to do that. Then, yeah, that's how the power-ups are going to work. And that's how we're going to communicate. So yeah, and also, in case someone starts cheating, we're going to be looking at each other's streams at all times, just in case someone doesn't cheat or so a power-up is used correctly. So yeah, that's how we're going to keep track of it. And yeah, that is the race introduction. So thank you guys for watching. This is just so you know, we when the race begins, we don't want the first episode to be like, okay, let's explain the rules and all that. Let's just keep a separate video. to explain the rules. Chris is going to do his own one if you want to look at his. But yeah, that's it. And thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy the race. So see you out there. Bye.